Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, Mostly Paper Crafts. And in this week's video, I am showing you how I'm preparing to go to a 4-day scrapbooking crop. And it's been a long time since I've gone anywhere to craft between the pandemic and just being busy the last few years. I haven't really had a chance to craft anywhere but at my own house, which is fine. I have a nice craft room here and it's nice to be able to craft at home, but there's something really special about being able to get together with a big group of people and not be in your own house and just craft and make stuff. But it is a little bit of a challenge to get everything ready. The first thing I do to get ready, of course, is make a list of all the different things that I'm going to need to remember to pack. And just as a little side note, my friend Angela is coming with me to this crop, and we were joking about carpooling and having a good laugh about that because there's no way that both of us and all of our stuff could fit into one of our cars. So we're each going to have a whole carload full of stuff for this 4-day crop. Seems a little ridiculous until you think about all the things that you really need to bring. All right, so this list. I started my list with the non-crafty things that I'm going to need. So things for sleeping, things for cleaning myself, things for entertainment and comfort, and then of course food. So being at someone else's place for 4 days, that's a long time, and obviously I'm gonna need to do things like shower and eat and sleep, and there's so many little things to remember to bring. I'll make sure I share all of those with you toward the end of this video. For my crafting supplies that I need to pack, I first decided which project I want to work on. I'm going to be working on my scrapbook planners, so I need to figure out what kinds of things I'm going to be scrapbooking so I know which supplies to bring. And then of course there's some basics that I would need for any crafting crop. I'll be sharing more details about how I scrapbook in a planner in a different video, but I thought it would be useful if I just showed you very quickly what I do so you get an idea of why I'm bringing the supplies that I am. Here is a sample layout from one of my books, and you can see there's lots of pictures and stickers and washi tape, and I like to do these fold outs where I can journal. And it's a planner, so it goes day by day. And I've been doing these for the last few years. I'm a little bit behind, so I'm excited to be working on these over the next couple weeks. So the first thing I really need to do to get ready for all that is to go through my photos on my phone, pick the ones that I want in my scrapbook. Then I take those photos and I use an app called PicStitch to create photo collages. Now the reason I make these collages is so that I can print 4x6s with 6 to 8 photos each. Then I take these and run them through my Xyron machine to make them into stickers. And then I cut them apart, and then they're ready to just put easily into my scrapbook, just like any other sticker. So that's kind of my process on how I scrapbook, and that gives you an idea of the supplies I'm gonna need to bring. My list is all ready, and it's time to start packing. So I wanted to show you first the organizational totes that I have. This pink and black set, I've had this for over 10 years. I'm pretty sure they don't make these anymore. I don't even know if that brand still exists. I've had this Create a Bag rolling tote for even longer. I'm hoping that I won't need to bring that bag actually, but the pink and black set I've used so many times, and it's just perfectly designed for going to crops. I also really like this file from Cropper Hopper. It has a place for the 12x12 sheets, and then on the other side it has room for 6x6 and then longer things, so perfect for long sticker packs. I'll probably also be bringing these 2 tubs, and that's a great way for me to store my photos and just the things that I'm currently working on. I won't be bringing this big machine with me, but this is the Creative Station, the Xyron machine I was talking about. This is what I use to turn my photo collages into stickers. I've had this machine forever and I absolutely love it, and I'll keep buying refills for this as long as they'll make them. Next, I'll show you the basic supplies I'll be bringing. I'm gonna bring 3 pairs of scissors, small, medium, and large, And a couple times a year, I do like to clean my scissors. I don't know if this is what I'm really supposed to use, but I use Goof Off on a cotton ball to clean the blades and get any adhesive off, and then they work like new. So that's what I use to clean my scissors. I'm gonna bring a couple different kinds of adhesive. I'm gonna make sure I bring a lot because I don't wanna run out, although I'm sure the host will have some things for sale. I'm gonna bring this larger paper trimmer and this smaller one. This is the one I'll be using most often. I need to pick out the pens and gel pens and markers that I'm gonna bring, but I probably won't bring much more than this. I'll bring my small scoreboard. And even though this is a tool that I don't use very often, I thought this would be fun for any titles that I wanna add if I don't wanna use my handwriting, because I'm not planning to bring any stamps or anything. This is the word punch board from We Are Memory Keepers, and it's really easy to use and it's really fun. And if that's the only thing that I bring with me to make titles, surely I'll use it. And then I'll have some continuity between my titles on my pages. I'm also gonna bring a couple of cordless lights, just in case I need a little extra lighting at my table. So these are the basic supplies that I'm gonna be bringing with me. I still need to go through things like my stickers and my washi tape. I have hundreds of washi tape, and these scrapbooks are a great way to use these up, but I don't want to bring all of them, so I'll go through and pick maybe 30 or so to bring with me. I'm so excited that I got my photo collages put together and printed out, and now the next step is going to be to run those through my Xyron machine, go through my stickers and my papers, and pick the ones that'll go with the themes of the pictures that I printed. And this last year and a half has been worth documenting. I don't know, it's been a crazy time, but I think it'll be really interesting to look back at these books in particular because the world has just been so crazy. One major advantage of me working on these scrapbooks at the crop is it really limits what I need to bring. I showed you those supplies. It's really not that many supplies. I mean, I'm gonna bring a lot of paper and stickers, but if I was gonna work on cards, oh, good grief. So I'm already planning now. I'm not bringing any stamps. I'm not bringing any inks. I'm not bringing stencils. I'm not gonna be using any stickles or anything with dimension. So no rhinestones, no embroidery floss, no glitter, nothing that would make the pages have more dimension because they're already packed as it is. So that really helps me with picking supplies and with getting stuff to the crop because I don't have to bring any embellishments that have any dimension to them. And that really cuts down on a lot. Now let's talk about a few non-crafty things that I wanted to bring with me. First of all, I'm going to be sitting for a long time, and usually when I craft, I like to craft standing. I'm so happy with my new standing desk that I made, and I've got my anti-fatigue mat underneath, and it's just the perfect height, and I can stand for hours and craft, and I just really enjoy that. But at the crop, I'm gonna be sitting, and standing really isn't a good option because the tables are low. They're a normal table height. So I'm gonna bring my exercise ball with me because that's a more comfortable way for me to sit, and then it engages my core a little bit. So I think the exercise ball is gonna be worth the space in my car. For sleeping, I need to bring sheets and an extra blanket and my pillows. And then, of course, for hygiene, I need everything for showering and obviously things like a toothbrush and a hairbrush. I'm gonna bring slippers, and I'm planning on wearing pajamas all 4 days. So when I planned my clothes I'll be bringing, it's mostly just PJs. Let's talk about food for a second. 4 days is a lot of meal planning. It's a lot of food to bring to someone else's house. And there's gonna be a bunch of us in this shared house with 2 fridges, but still, I really need to be conscious of how much I'm bringing because I don't know how much fridge space I'll be able to take up. So I'm bringing some things that are shelf stable and some things that are frozen, but mostly shelf stable. And then all the snacks that I'm bringing, I've pre-portioned into 100 and 200 calorie baggies so that I can keep track of what I'm eating, just because I know myself and I know if I'm sitting for 4 days, I could easily consume thousands and thousands of calories and just be munching while I'm working. Of course, we need to talk about drinks. It's a bunch of ladies together for 4 days, so there'll probably be some adult beverages there, but I'll be bringing a couple gallons of water. I'm gonna bring a bunch of different tea bags. I love drinking tea, and actually my favorite thing to do right now, since it's summer, is to make cold brew tea. So I put 2 tea bags in a quart of water and put it in the fridge overnight. I like to use herbal teas, and then I have this big giant tea I can sip on the next morning or the next afternoon, and I don't sweeten those. I also really like fizzy water, so I picked a bunch of fizzy waters, a bunch of tea bags, and I should be able to stay pretty hydrated. There's some miscellaneous stuff that I want to make sure that I have with me. So I'm bringing a blender to make some smoothies, since I'm going to be eating shelf-stable and pre-made frozen meals. I thought it would be a good idea to have some fresh fruit and veggie smoothies. So I bring my little blender, I'll bring my Fitbit and my charger so I can make sure I'm getting more than just a couple thousand steps a day. Of course, I'll need my phone charger. I'll bring my headphones. Unfortunately, I will have to work a little bit while I'm at the crop. I'm working on my master's right now, and I have to log in a certain number of days a week, and I have assignments that will be due while I'm there. So I'll just have my headphones in case I need to listen to anything. And of course, I'll need my laptop, my charger, and hair ties. I always forget hair ties, and then I'm always begging someone to let me have one of theirs. Here's a little peek at all of the food that I'm bringing. So most of this is shelf stable. A few things over here need to go into the freezer, but I have all of my snacks pre-portioned with the calories written on them so I can keep track of how much I'm eating. You can see I'm putting my photos into the Xyron Creative Station, and then they come out the other side and they'll all have adhesive on the back. So I'll just take these, cut them apart, and they'll be ready to put in my scrapbook. In an ideal world, I would just be printing 1 or 2 4x6s each week and not have to print a whole strip like this to do over the crop. I was just pretty entertained by this. This is all the photos that I've printed and prepped for my scrapbook. I was able to fit all of my crafting supplies into the organizers that I had hoped. So just to show you real quick, this tub has my photos. It has pre-made die cuts, and it also has memorabilia, which I've sorted into baggies by year. And this box is all stickers. It's a lot of stickers, I know. This has paper, so on this side I have 12 by 12s. Mostly these are solid colored, but I did pick out some prints. And the other side just has some loose 6 by 6 papers. The rest of the paper I'm bringing is in this tote. This organizer here has all of those tools that I was showing you earlier. I picked out some pens and markers, and then everything else fit into this larger tote. So here are my scrapbooks, my large trimmer, I've got my light, and I put my washi tape into a big baggie because that was the best way I could figure out to keep it organized. I have 2 gallons of water. All my fizzy drinks are packed into that cooler. And then all of my food and food supplies other than the frozen stuff is in this box. So I've got my blender in here, a couple of mason jars for making my cold brew tea. I've got my vitamins. I've got a coffee mug for tea, and my kettles in there, as well as all of my snacks. I've got a big bag of tea and an insulated tumbler. The last thing that I wanted to show you is some of my hygiene stuff. I've also got my exercise ball. My puppies aren't coming. I've got my towel and my bedding over there. But just some things that are worth thinking about when you're sharing a space with other people for sleeping and sharing a bathroom. We've got poopery and earplugs in case anyone's snoring, and breathe right so I'm not snoring. And other than that, it's just your basic things you would take with you when you're traveling. Besides some things like my phone charger, my Fitbit and charger, my pillows, and my clothes, I think that's pretty much what I'm bringing to this crop. I plan on typing up a list, like a checklist that I can use for this trip and then for future crops, and I'll share the link to that in the description below. Now, I'm not leaving for a couple more days, so I haven't packed up my clothes yet. If I've forgotten something important, could you put it down in the comments below? Or if there's something that you would or that you do like to take to crops, put that into the comments below too, just so we can share with our community. It's great to get and share ideas on YouTube, and the comments are a great place to do that. I am so excited to go to this crop. I've been waiting for well over a year for this. I was supposed to go last summer, but it was canceled because of COVID. So I am excited to get out of my house, to have a chance to work on my scrapbook, to be around other creative ladies. It's just going to be a blast. And I do plan on recording a video while I'm there, so I'll be sharing that on my channel soon. Until next time, I hope that you get to do some crafting of your own and go make something beautiful.